Hello and welcome back to Stranded Deep, welcome back to the map editor, and welcome back to this island that we are making. Last time we were adding skelly-bobs to the island, yep, the skeleton of the cargo ship, because apparently the crew of the DC-3 thought, you know what, we're on dry land, why don't we jump in a life raft and paddle away, or maybe they got eaten by sharks. Who knows, who knows. But we have a forest, we have peninsulas, we have jumping puzzles. We have a river that runs through it, we have fallen trees, we have areas which you can go high and low and all that sort of stuff, and it's looking very nice. This time I thought we could add a bit to the island. Yeah, I thought we could use the hard edge brush and really just get in there with making a sort of a Neolithic feature. Maybe, I mean, we've done it before, maybe we could do it this time. But it's going to be a little bit tricky because I want to put it in the forest, and in order to do that we're going to have to move some trees. However, I've got a few things to get out the way first before we go through the controls, and that is, if you're watching these as they go out and you're wondering where the video's been, well, I'm sorry. YouTube has, YouTube's being YouTube. So every time I upload a video, I'm getting an oops, something went wrong message, which kind of suggests it might be an internal server error, which means something's gone wrong at YouTube's end. However, I can't email anyone for tech support because YouTube says you need more than 1,000 subscribers in order to have just the basics like tech support. And I'm like, okay. I mean, we don't. Oh, all right, sure. So we just have to sit and wait. That's a bit of a problem. The other thing is I was looking for the workshop for Stranded Deep, and boy, that thing is hidden on the Steam page. It is there. It is there. I thought it wasn't implemented yet, but yeah, it's definitely there. It's not on the store page. It's not on the game page. It's not even in your library page. You have to go through the community, and then somewhere there's a button that allows you to download a bunch of maps. If you are a map maker and you want to upload a map, then, well, you got to dig through the forums in order to know how to package the map and then use the command line, I think, to upload it to Steam. Oh, man. It's a bit of a mess. So assuming anyone could even find the workshop, yeah, you might have a hard time uploading your map. We might have to wait on that for the lads to actually streamline it. There should just be a button in the game that it packages and exports the map, and then you could just upload it to Steam that way, but oh no, they've been working on the PS4 version for a long time. I'm assuming that's what's holding everything up. So, with those things out of the way, we're going to make a Neolithic bet. So, if you're joining us, and you're unfamiliar with the map editor, yeah, this is the island we've been making. Don't worry about it. We're using W to go forward, S to go back, A to go left, D to go right, Q to go down, E to go up. We're clicking and holding the right mouse button to pan the camera around. That's how we move and look around in a 3D space. And it's good. If we click on an object, not that object, if we click on an object, hello object, you are my friend. So we are using R to rotate, T to transform, C, that wasn't C, C to clone. Delete to delete. We have to click on yes because there is no keyboard shortcut to agree to the thing. Scientific. And if we click and select it again, F is focus. But sometimes the red, blue, and green arrows don't appear, even if you got an object selected and you're definitely on the object selection of the toolbox. So you have the buttons just underneath terrain, objects, and camera. That is rotate, that is transform, and then right at the bottom of the toolbox you have focus, you have clone, and you have delete. Delete looks really weird, but it's actually a bin with a lid and a little cube going into it. Why don't we just put a picture of a recycle bin? Oh, Unity, UTs. Anyway, yeah, we need to do something. So what I'm going to do is move some trees. We got some trees to move. We're on transform, so we're just going to grab and move this guy over here. Oh yeah, one more thing. Again, I've been saying this a lot, but one more thing. The camera speed is not controlled by us. I mean, if we get close to an object, the camera will slow down exponentially. And then the further away we are from objects, the camera will speed up. So it kind of looks like we've got lag because it gets so many objects on the island. The problem with that is that if we go through here, see if it'll do it. No, sometimes sometimes it shoots you off to the moon. So I think one of the things I was trying to do earlier, just kind of looking at the island, is look up. Oh, there we go. Look up underneath the tree. There is, it's so hard. You've got an object, and then two large objects together. I'm not holding shift or anything. I was just wanting to look up inside the tree. That's what the inside of a model looks like. That's why you need to put the trunk in the ground, and that's why you need to make sure that some models that you're using, oh my god, it's stuck in a rock. And now we're in the, like I said, we're on the moon. So constant velocity for the camera is not a thing. Not a thing. It just doesn't exist. I wish it did, but it doesn't. So we're going to put these here. The reason we're going to put these two trees here is because there is actually an object limit for the Cook Pines. So these trees are based off Cook Pines, which do exist in the Pacific. And there is an item limit for them, but there is also kind of a bug. You see, if we were to click off onto terrain and then objects and then drag, we could drag another bunch of, I think, 3 Cook Pines, one for each size, out, and which goes beyond the item limit. I don't want to do that, but I also can't remember which of the pines they are, so we're just going to leave them floating in space, so we don't mess anything up. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to hit terrain, and then I'm going to hit the middle button. So you got the cog, and then there's 3 buttons. You got raise and lower, you got set height, you got smooth height. These are all good friends, and normally with good friends we use the feathered brush. Now the feathered brush is great for making smooth rolling terrain. However, sometimes you want to add a feature, and that's where the hard edge brush comes in. Now you can add a square brush. All the other brushes are basically useless. I don't know why you would want a bacterial sample brush. I don't know why you'd want I don't even know what this brush is. I'm guessing croutons. This one's just, wait, I know this one. That's a lotus seed pod. Ooh, that's gonna trigger something. An explosion. I don't know why. Oh, a trench. Well, I suppose if you're making your World War I map, then the trench might be quite handy. And then the other brushes don't seem to... So there's basically 2 brushes. And that's the feathered circular brush and the hard edge circular brush. We are going to make sure we have the middle button selected. So we are on set height. We're going to read terrain paint height. And wherever we click, wherever the mouse cursor clicks, the little mousy cursory boy, wherever that clicks, that is the height that we're going to set the terrain. And we're going to be a little bit careful because there is a tree here. This is a little walkway. But the reason I'm kind of packing it in here rather than over here is I just don't want to use up this area in case somebody wants to put a house there. You've got to be a little bit conscious of your players. Maybe they want to build a house in the woods. Maybe they want to spend a night in the woods. Maybe they want to be in a cabin in the woods. I don't know. And we shouldn't force them to do anything they don't want to do. So we're going to click, we've clicked on the button, and then we're just going to click here. Click. It's now set the target value, which is the bottom slider. That's in terms of height, so altitude. And then with the small brush, we are going to click and hold. Oh no, that's kind of beansed it a little bit. Yeah, I know. Hashtag ruined. Well, whatever. Read terrain set height, move it down a bit. And then there is no undo, by the way. So if you beans this, it keeps jumping around. It keeps jumping around because we're looking at a 3D space. And every time we move the terrain, every time we move the terrain, the mesh moves and then jumps onto another node. Everything is divided into triangles. So you're going to be a little bit careful of that. I'm going to change the size of the brush up and read terrain set height, and we're going to read it from a little higher up. Maybe not that big. There we go. Push it back a little bit. Oh yeah, but I see my mistake now. It wasn't a mistake. It's what I meant to do. So we want a see, no triangles. Everything is triangles. So we want a circular pit. Essentially, this is like Minecraft. Oh no, it's like Minecraft! He exclaimed. So yeah, everything's kind of a little tricky, a little tricksy. So what we're doing is trying to make sure there's enough terrain here that's all smooth and lovely, And then what we're doing is making a set of concentric circles, to be exact. And then we're going to move this down. Change the target value. No, read terrain set height from slightly lower. Is this going to work? I need to move it out a little bit. Yeah, I do. Oh, it keeps jumping back. Don't jump back. Don't jump back. So we're going to hit terrain. We're going to hit, well, no, we're not. We'll raise and lower height. I think we're going to have to do this manually. So we're going to change the map, slide it all the way down, pull it back off the stop, use the feather brush, change the size all the way down. We're going to hit raise. We got it on raise, great. So we're just going to have to tweak this slightly. We do have a big old shadow in the way. It's a bit of a problem. Can we change that so there's no shadow? By changing the time of day? Yep. So we have our shell crater. Oh wow, no, what have you done? Oh, hashtag ruined. I know. So I just wanna tweak all this a little bit. We have to move into 3D space because, I mean, lower. The trouble with this is that we have no shadows to really help us out here. No shadows. Shadows really do help give you a sense of depth. I think my area might be too small to be doing this in, but we're going to persevere anyway. Don't worry about it too much. Nah, okay. I don't think we're going to get the concentric tiers. Can we? Yeah, no, we should be okay. So I'm going to push that area down. Everything being triangles is fine. That's just how polygon games work compared to games made of voxels. But the issue is the number of triangles. So the world mesh is kind of, it's not exactly refined. It's not exactly like refined sugar or flour. It's more like house bricks in terms of the nodes being so far apart. The reason the brush is jumping around is it's literally jumping onto a node. I wish I could give you an overlay to show you, but basically each of these points that the brush jumps to is a conversion of 3 lines, or the edge of a triangle, essentially. So there's little points of the triangle. Anyway, we're going to hit objects, and then we're going to go in with them rocks, them rocky boys. We're going to scroll all the way down to the bottom, down to the bottom. Small rock. So what we're going to do is try and build a circular bit. Why would we do this? Are we mad? Yes, absolutely. We are 100% certifiably insane. But also small rocks. So is this going to work? I mean, yeah, should work. Trust me, I know what I'm doing. I'm a doctor. I'm not really a doctor, but if I was a doctor, that would be amazing. Doctor of Doom. Dr. Doom. I like that. There's a nice ring to it. I don't think there's ever been an actual evil person called Dr. Doom. Or has there? No, it'll be fine. So anyway, we're going to move this around. But you're using them all in the same direction. I know, right? How crazy. But it doesn't really matter for this so much. So we're using transform, which is these 3 lines, and we're using rotate. So we're just tapping R and T and just moving things around. So everything's kind of lovely. There we go. What we couldn't do with the terrain, we are doing with the rocks. That sounds way, way, way dirtier than I thought it would. Wait, what? Clone, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. So yeah, we're just moving things around. Rotate. Sometimes you want to put things in the world. And you want to put things in the world that are kind of made by people, person-made, human-made, crafted, and you don't want to reach into the toolbox and hit structures and then start adding things like sea faults and stuff. No. No, no, no. There are other ways of doing this. So, rotate. I'm going to move this out. Click on this, move this out. T to transform. Next bit's going to be pain in the butt. Oh, why is it going to be a pain in the butt? Oh, I don't know. I just get the feeling. We're going to hit terrain and objects, so we don't have anything selected. I just get the feeling it's going to be a complete pain in my butt. But. Yeah, I know. So we need small rocks. Small rock 3. Hello. Rotate. I just dumped it in the middle. It's not an ideal place for it to be, but yeah, it's fine. T to transform. T to transform. Don't hit all the buttons on your keyboard all at once. That's gonna ruin something. Rotate. This is quite a big rock. Oh yeah, it is compared to everything else. Yep. Green. Move you back. Hey, look at that. Look at that. Yeah. So now you can see what's going to happen. C to clone, and then kind of move it in and out of the terrain with the little rotatey and the little transformy. It is what it is, but it's not bad. So C, E, R. Oh my, we're playing dangerously because sometimes what happens is the object that we have selected will deselect and then it'll select something else on the island, which is why we always often hit terrain and objects. At the moment, I ain't hitting nothing. There's gonna be some other problems with this. We'll deal with that momentarily. So we're just moving these rocks around, and we're taking our time because boys, it is well, you know. I'm going to clone this and move this out so we can actually get to it. To there. Then go back to this one, and then hit rotate. The reason is at the moment it's actually not a bad position for anything to be in. I'm just going to rotate this up. I'm going to go and click this one and hit T to transform, and then pull you up a bit. Push you in a bit. And there we go. There we go. So I wanted to manipulate this rock, but I like the orientation of this one, which means that we don't lose the orientation that we have so carefully positioned. Rotate, and then T to transform. So we don't need this to be a functioning pit of any sort. We don't need the player to be able to sit there, but it's all for the looks. So, and we're still going to get our 2 little drops there. So don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. From this side, can we rotate? Kind of not really. The geometry is not great for that. But we can transform. And we can push it back into the world. And then we can pull it down. And then we can push it back a little bit. It's a little bit. There we go. There we go. And then we can come over here. Same thing. So clone, transform, rotate. Yeah, you see? It's got a creative. It's like, oh no, it's like making jewelry. Getting all the little beads or links or whatever you happen to be using, and then sort of just sticking everything together. And the environment. Once you've spent time on the environment, everything, it's not a bad place to work. So we'll move this back and then rotate. Then transform. And then what we're going to do is throw a load of plants over it. What? Oh yeah, forgot about that bit. So we'll do this. Transform, move it down, and then out. So what we should have is, oh, you need to come around a lot. Then it gets transformed out. I don't suppose the mud. I did repeat myself. I don't suppose the mud's too much of a problem there, because we're going for the artistic circle. There we go. And then we can do something with this, because this also looks a little bit doofy there. So rotate. I think we will rotate it and then transform it, and then just kind of bring it down. And then using only 2 types of rock, we have managed to create something that doesn't look like it's made up of two types of rock, except for here, here, and here. Well, also here. But we've got the same texture repeating. There's a slight problem. Slight problem. So I'm going to bring this up, and I'm going to rotate it slightly. Transform it. And then do the same thing here, rotate it. There we go. So it's just manipulating stuff, just in the smallest sense, in order to get this kind of look going. Right, terrain objects, so we don't have anything selected. Then we're going to go to small rock 1. Hello, I am small rock 1. And then I'm going to put this out here. There's a flyer, so that's kind of fallen, I don't know, in the rain or whatever. T, so transform it a little bit. But we also want to kind of keep it in the same direction as everything else. So I'll keep that broken. There we go. There we go. Might actually rotate it on itself. No, I think it's okay the way it is. There's just this very sharp line here, but I think that's going to be fine. T to transform, and then move that down a little bit. So good. Good. Terrain objects, because we don't have anything selected. The reason we do that is sometimes you drag something out of the toolbox, and whatever is selected will move with whatever you dragged out the toolbox. Slight issue there. Now, this is quite small, this area, so I'm going to hit R to rotate. Don't mind me, I'm just making noises with my face. This might be a little bit too big to fit in there. And we can check that by hitting structures and getting the door. That's a player. So the player, quite thankfully, is deep enough so the head is going to be in this area. If you walk into this area, it's just like, what is going on here? We can delete that door. So you always use a door for height check. There's no ragdoll. You can't pull like a player ragdoll out and just kind of move it around the island. Something that would be perhaps deleted once you make the map live. But it's, yeah, I don't know. There's opportunities for a lot of stuff, and the stuff just isn't there. Small rock 1, 2. I just want a little nub of something in the middle, but maybe we can just get away from it and just leave that. Just leave it as like a conversation bit. So I'm just moving the camera around to see what it looks like from other directions. From other directions, it's kind of looking fine. It's kind of looking fine. So we can bring the trees back in, I guess. T to transform. So you are not going to look too bad either, snuggled up to the edge of this. Gotta make sure that tree's in the ground. So the tree won't grow through the rocks, but you can snuggle it right up against the rocks. There we go. There we go. Gets the shadow work in, and then this lad here. Oh, hello tree. How are you doing? I am fine. I am tree. Great. So we can either smash it straight in the middle. That'd be hilarious. Or kind of put it off to one side down here. We have kind of expanded the forest a little bit. I actually like it. I really like it just there. So I'm going to drop down, pull the tree out of the ground until we see the bottom of the trunk, and then put it back in until the trunk is a good, I don't know, several centimeters, inches, whatever your local measurement is. So we have this kind of rough edge here. We're going to hit terrain. We're going to hit this third button, which is smooth height. We're going to make sure we have slightly bigger brush, smooth brush. Amount is, well, basically a couple of pixels off the edge of the amount. Remembering the amount is shared between all of the brushes. So if you crank the amount up for the smooth brush and then you click the raise and lower height, you're going to be in for a bad time. Speaking of which, change the amount down, click and hold. And I just want to smooth this edge off here, because this doesn't need to be 100% angly and dangly. Why would it need that? So we're just smoothing off the edges of these triangles, which make the mesh of the map. Getting rid of that very harsh edge. There we go. Excellent. Excellent, excellent, excellent. I am liking this a lot. So we've gone from empty forest with a few rocks and stuff to something that doesn't really show up until you're down here. Whoa! and it's just a point of interest. It doesn't do anything, but for the island, it is literally a point of interest. So I'm going to put something here. Maybe some plants around it. That'd be lovely, wouldn't it? Just a few little plants. Anywhere where you've got a bunch of bare-ass rock, you should really throw in some plants. A nana plant. Yeah, that would be hilarious. Throw a nana plant in the middle. As soon as someone jumps on it, their camera just throws itself to pieces. Because the the collision box on a banana plant is insane. A shrub, a bush here. Yeah, fill our creation with bush. That'd be great. We worked so hard on this. What are we gonna do with it? No, cover it in shrubs. Alocasia. Small alocasia. We don't need anything big. We just need something, something a little bit. Just going to take the edge off things. I think this is going to take the edge off things. So, to rotate, do a little rotate. The leaf is clipped in the ground. And we're in the rock. I don't mind it clipping in the ground, but not so much in the rock. So we'll move it over a little bit. I just pressed F to focus. I don't want to do that. Move down. Make sure the bottom of the plant is in the ground. Anytime you put a plant down, make sure it's in the ground. Why are we using the leaves here like this? To break up some of the grey. Literally to break up some of that grey. We could do another one. There is a Ceramon 2 with a little flower. I think that's kind of cool. So see if we can whip that in around here maybe. That'd be good. So we'll come down. Make sure it's in the ground. Ooh, there's a stalk clipping through the rock. I don't think you're really going to see that. I don't think you're going to see that. It'd be interesting if plants had like jiggle-bone physics, and I can't remember if they do. But so what you do is you put a skeleton in the plant, and then you put an elasticity modifier, so they kind of jiggle around. It's what dead sharks do when you go and harvest them from the sea. So what would happen then is when you put the plant in, it kind of settles on the terrain instead of clips through it. And if you walk through it, the plant moves around the player, kind of like it does in Ghost of a Tale with a little mouse Tilo. When he runs through ferns and things, that's actually a really, really, really good position for that plant. So the plant is in the ground. This leaf is just caressing the top of this rock, adding a little bit of breakout. So terrain objects, just so we don't have any selected. And we just added a couple of plants just to break up those rocks. We can still see exactly what's going on here. There's still something. I mean, for most players, you're going to have ground sprites, so you're going to get some sprites, forest floor sprites, but we do need something in here. Ficus. Sacrificial ficus. We could add a ficus tree. That would actually I mean, it doesn't really belong here, but at the same time, so the ficus tree and the ficus tree 2 can't be chopped down. Cannot be chopped down. It's impossible to chop them down. But we can grab it, pull it into the ground. We're going to be a little bit careful because the selection point of the ficus is very much on the very end of it. We need to rotate slightly. So anytime it can just trip and select rock, which is just done, and then it's almost impossible to select ficus again. We have to go under the world. Is that the ficus selected? I believe it is. Fortunate. How fortunate for us. Yes, I really wish that wouldn't happen, and that we could just manipulate things without having to result in under map. That's done again. Okay. Clickety click, clickety click. Clickety click. There we go. The white foam. So we're under the map at the moment. The white foam is essentially where the water won't be rendered. So if you see this white foam, that is the water surface, but that won't be rendered because it's normally not visible. If you see that on the shoreline above the map, That's gonna be a gap in your water mesh. So just keep that in mind. I don't think. Oh, it is kind of clipping through the trunk a little bit. So I want red, and I want to move it this way, and maybe blue for this way. I mean, it's snapped away, but you know what? You know what? That's actually not bad. It's not bad because now we can come here and we can look, and we've got a continuation of the ficus in the distance, plus the ficus tree in the foreground, plus yeah. So we keep creating these arches. It'd be nice to have something there, like a thing that you could see if you were sort of here. But you know what? I think that's fine. That's fine. And then one more plant. Something here. Oh, I don't know, Akura. Ooh. Yeah, actually, yeah. It means players would have to come here to get some little fruity boy. I don't mind that at all. And we have that much fruit on the island. So there we go. I think that was F. Why did we focus? Why not? So even once the plant is done, because you only get one fruit item from it. So when the plant's done, you still have a structural item here. You can't chop down the tree. You can't chop down the kura. I think it needs to come over a little bit. There we go. Make sure it's in the ground. That's very much... Yes, I was like, that's very much in the ground. There is a bit of a problem with fruit-bearing items, trees and things, because if it's too close to another tree, sometimes you can't pick the fruit. So when you're testing your island, you really do have to come along and just make sure you can actually grab any resources, trees, chop down trees, fruits, palm fronds from little baby palms, things like that. Just make sure all the resources are grabbable. Because what you don't want is floating plants and plants that you can't harvest. So yeah, excellent. You know what? Terrain objects. And so we've created something that now lives in the world. And as such, it's almost completely hidden. Why will we do that? Oh, we'll go to terrain and change the time of day back to midday. Let's go find midday in the world, which is about... there, I guess. It's midday. Yeah, it is. Excellent. So if we hit objects again, so we don't actually brush the terrain, we created a little Neolithic pit in the forest, which is mostly hidden. So as you're running along, and now you have to go left or right, or you can just jump over into the pit and down. But it doesn't really matter. Is it useful? Nope. Is the camera stuck in a tree? Abso-frickin-lutely. There we go. Oh, okay. In fact, I've actually lost it. Yeah, so it's just an item of interest without using structures on the island. And as such, I'm kind of liking it. It just adds a little bit of extra something to the forest floor. Excellent, 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 and excellent. I'm going to leave it there for the time being. So if you're liking this, definitely leave a little like, leave a subscribe. And if you do subscribe, click the little bell, because that will give you notifications when videos go live. And I tell you what, I'll catch you next time.